Today is Friday, April the 23rd. Just wanted to check in with you guys and kind of give you an update. I did vlog yesterday, so if you watched that previous vlog, you kind of know why I'm vlogging the next day as well. Just trying to be more conscious about how often I pick up the camera, and just want to try to get more film footage for you guys and for myself, just to kind of look back from this year and just kind of see where we're at. But so far there has been a lot going on at the shop. If you can't tell, I am kind of sweaty and gross, so I apologize. But already we've had some orders here at the shop, and we've had a delivery, and we also had someone come in and redo some signs for us and put up a couple of placards for us, because if you don't know, we have been suffering hardcore with not having, I guess, enough staff to take care of orders and stuff quickly. So because of COVID, we've only had our drive-thru open, so it only makes sense for us to get some waiting and reserve spots for people to pull over. So we did get those. So this is the lunch situation. I have some Meyer home style chicken salad, and it looks really good. And then I have a pita pocket, so that's going to be lunch. I've already had some Lay's potato chips baked, and then I also had a banana. And obviously I can't forget the sweet tea. Another thing that we also got was one of these signs, because one of the funny parts about working at or owning a small fast food place out in the middle of the country is the fact that people don't necessarily understand that we aren't high tech. We don't have a call box, so there's been lots of times where customers will pull up, go to the drive-through menu, if I can show you guys, go to the drive-through menu, and they'll stop thinking that we have a call-in box, and we don't. And it just kind of backs things up, and honestly, it just kind of makes for a funny joke for the inside crew. But anyway, so we got one of those, we got some window clings, and we ended up getting lots of signs for reserved spots. I don't know if you guys can probably see these from here. I'll zoom in for you. But yes, those are our signs. We have a total of 5. So let's hope that that only helps to create a little bit less chaos and makes things go a little bit smoother. This is our menu. So we have sandwiches and the Will Burger. The Will Burger was actually named after my grandpa, and we have, because his name's Wilbur, and we have sides, drinks obviously, and of course we have our cones and our ice cream. Dole Whip is one of the most popular sellers at this point. We have sundaes and all the good stuff, and of course pizza and kids menu. But even more fitting, we have a sign saying that we have minimal staffing, and for the last month that puppy has not moved. Hello and welcome back. I have grabbed myself a little bit of Dole Whip. This week we have pineapple, so just wanted to share that with you guys and just take a break from being in there. I apologize for any background noise. We're located right on a road, a main road, so it can get kind of noisy with all of the street noise, but just wanted to take a minute and just relax and hang out with you guys for a minute. Thankfully, today hasn't turned out to be too busy. Our lunch rush was pretty bad. Well, I shouldn't even say really bad. It was just a little hectic. My mom was able to actually get out a lot of food. Sorry. I'm going to try to dodge cars as best that I can, or talk up, or both. But Mom was actually able to get a good amount of food served up in like 15 minutes, which is awesome. So I think in like the 6 months that I've been at the shop full time, I think I've finally started to realize my strengths as well as Mom's strengths. I'm definitely good up front, and I'm definitely good with just kind of behind the scenes stuff. So like I said, like I do the social media stuff for our business. I also am responsible for just keeping things updated on any internet stuff. And too, like I'm responsible for working here at the shop. I'm responsible for just trying to make things work as best I can. I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people might not necessarily realize. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into a business, hence why we're tired all the time. But yeah, today hasn't been so bad. I don't know what tonight looks like. I know that we have 4 people on staff tonight, so that will be good. Honestly, it's a little cooler out here. I'm kind of shivering if you can't tell on camera, or tell through the camera. And I'm eating ice cream, which totally makes sense. But so I don't know exactly how busy we will get tonight because of how much colder it is. I know that next week's going to be pretty hot. I think Wednesday next week, I think is supposed to be 80 degrees. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Next week already looks very short-staffed from what my mom has kind of figured out already with the availability that our employees and our team members have sent back. So it's really frustrating, really scary, but yet again, we've gotten through it I don't know how many times at this point. So it's almost getting to the point where being short-staffed is kind of like the long haul thing going on. And it was funny because last night we ended up just watching the news at 11 o'clock as normal. And what you know, like the first thing that comes on the news is 100% that people aren't wanting to work right now and that all restaurant businesses are suffering, which is really disappointing because I don't know how the economy is going to survive here in America if it continues this way. And I wanted to create like a separate video just on my thoughts about that, but I mean overall I just don't know how it's sustainable when there are so many jobs out there and no one's wanting them or willing to take them. I don't know how the economy can survive, and I don't know how both small and large scale businesses can get by without having any employees. I don't know. I just have to keep trusting that there is probably something going on behind the scenes that I'm not aware of. Whether it be God, the universe, whatever you refer to, there has to be something behind the scenes taking care of us and obviously there has to be something greater in store, because it always seems like things get really worse before things get better, and better than you can almost imagine. So I'm just holding out and hoping that things will get better, and that things are happening for a reason, and things are falling apart in order to build something even greater. So we shall see. But I just kind of wanted to take a minute to just to kind of talk about my mental health this past month. And it's not been an easy road, to say the least. Last month, going into April, ew, there was a bug in. Sorry about that. But going into April, there was a lot of fear, and there was a lot of OCD symptoms that were carrying over into the month. And, you know, just to paint a realistic picture of what my mental health is like, it has everything to do with control, and knowing that I don't have control over certain situations makes it really hard for me to deal a lot of times. And that sounds awful to someone who might not understand how mental health works, or how mental illnesses work, or even OCD in particular. But it's not me necessarily trying to be manipulative or controlling, but to be, you know, to frame it fairly. I would absolutely love to be able to give up 100% of control of everything and just go with the flow and enjoy life and be in the present moment, but that's just not how my brain's built. And dump truck. Even though my symptoms overall have gotten a lot better, there are still times where I have like really severe meltdowns. And my meltdowns mainly take on the form of like me crying hysterically for like an hour, maybe a day, 2 days streak. Not necessarily every single minute of every single day during that streak, but extensively. I mean, there was a situation last week in which like I had absolutely no control over things, and I knew that. And because I knew that I didn't have control over things, like things started to get really scary for me. And my means, I guess, of coping with that is to cry and to pout and throw a hissy and get angry, all in a means to try to cope with the anger and the stress that I'm dealing with. And that type of streak, because yet again, being transparent with you guys, that streak lasted, I think, for 5 days straight. There was not like a single day last week during the weekdays that I didn't cry once. And, you know, yet again, it's something that most people would be ashamed of. And during the time I was, because yet again, normal people don't have to deal with that. But it just kind of comes with the territory with mental health and mental illnesses, and even OCD if you wanted to get really specific. And I hadn't really had one of those streaks since my health scare in January of 2020. And even though that progress is really great, it still sucks to know that there will still be times, and chances of it never going away is very likely, and that there will always be a chance for me to really suffer with OCD symptoms is sad. But it just sucks knowing that so much progress had been made, and then I can still get back into like that really dark and deep state of mind. And I can truthfully say that I've never wanted to harm myself. I've never wanted to cut myself or to do drugs to try to escape those feelings, because those feelings can be really deep and dark sometimes, especially when you don't understand where they're coming from. But I can truthfully say that this episode definitely shook me up a bit in terms of how much I can beat myself up and how critical I can be of myself and other people. And yet again, I could say that that streak was probably the most unhappy that I've been in a while, but that would be a lie. It was just kind of like the polar ice cap, the very tip of the iceberg, because for months I've just not been happy, and it's not necessarily because I'm not a happy person or that I can't be a happy person. There's just something going on, whether it be hormonally or just brain chemicals. I don't know the science behind why I feel the way that I do, even though I took a lot of psychology classes. You know, there's no reason why someone like me, who has a college education, who has great and loving and supportive parents, and has a future, you know, I have a good head on my shoulders that I can basically do with whatever I want. Like, I could create my own universe. There's no reason that a person like me, your typical average American woman, girl, should feel so awful about herself like 99.9% of the time. And to know that the first thing that pops into my head when I'm sad or upset or scared or frustrated is that I hate my life. And to continue having those types of thoughts, and maybe even a little bit worse of thoughts, is definitely troubling. You know, I say that with a light heart because I know that I am not to that point where I would do anything drastic. And I don't think I could ever get to that point, because I know what suicide does to the family, and I know what suicide feels like on the living side of it. And I can't even hurt myself, because honestly, I'm the biggest wimp when it comes to pain. So, yet again, I say that lightheartedly. One, for the fact of, no, this isn't a suicide note. Two, just to kind of put that out there for you guys, because yet again, I'm living the dream life, and I'm still having depression, anxiety, a combination of both. I'm still having a hard time functioning as a normal human being. But it's just amazing, honestly. And I think last week I had the realization of like why people use, and I know why people do hurt themselves and commit suicide, because it can get to be a lot. And if you don't have the right support system there, if you don't have the right resources or access to the right resources, then things can get pretty bad pretty quickly. But I guess I wanted to come on here and explain that bit of information to you guys, not necessarily as a cry for help, but more of, I understand if you're going through that, and I think a lot more people than what you might realize understands what's going through that. And I would even bet to say that if not 50%, definitely more, Americans probably experience depression and anxiety, maybe even 90%. I think there's always a story behind the scenes that we don't necessarily get if we're not inside the brain of the person experiencing things. So, with all of that being said, something else that I am definitely looking forward to on the 27th is me having an appointment to try to get some medication. And I've tried to go down this route one time before and it was unsuccessful for me, and I can't say that I'm not nervous to try it again, because the first time went really bad for me, but it's gotten to the point where I am not happy 24/7, and that's an issue. I'm 26 going on 27 years old. I'm in the prime of my life, and to hate every single moment of where I'm at right now, something's not right. So we're gonna try meds and hopefully that will offer up some relief for me. And we'll just try it and see what happens. I can't say that I'm necessarily fond of the idea because of my past experience, but honestly, I think it's kind of like at that last ditch effort. Not to say that I couldn't live without meds, it's just I want to actually enjoy life, and I want to smile more, and I want to have, or at least feel like I have, more energy, and I don't want to cry all the time, and the list could go on, but I think I'm finally listening and finally understanding that what I've been feeling for the last year plus, it's not normal. So I'm gonna try meds. Hopefully that'll work. Like I said, I have an appointment on April 27th, and I'll probably take you guys along for that too. But we'll just see. I know that I'm not actually probably going to be prescribed medicine on the 27th, which is fine. Honestly, I think the game plan as of right now is to just get a genetic test done to see like what, I guess, brand or type of medication would work the best for my body type makeup or my genetic makeup. So we'll just see. But it's gotten to the point where I'm just not enjoying life, and it's sad because I'm young and I'm never gonna get back this period of time. So I just want to be, you know, even a little bit happier, or at least something to take the edge off. Because as of late, with the shop and with the relationship aspect of it alone, granted, Mr. B and I are technically not in a relationship at this point, but just knowing, school bus, another school bus, just knowing that I have no control of the outcome of the relationship that Brandon and I do have. For me, being the control freak that I am, like, it's hard. So, you know, just something to take the edge off. find a little bit more joy and just to enjoy life a little bit more would be an A+. Other than that, it'd be icing on the cake, or icing on the cake. Can't talk. But yeah, so just wanted to give you guys a little heads up. Like, if you're feeling similar to the way that I do about things, or you're just not enjoying life like you think you should be, and like there's nothing else going on, obviously I can't tell you what to do with your life, but it might be time to consider other options, whether those options include seeing a therapist once or twice a month or a week, or even getting some medication, safely medicating yourself. I highly recommend it. Obviously, if you're feeling like super down, super low, and you feel like there's no way out, and you feel like you're going to harm, you need to get help. And I say that for your sake, and I say that for your family's sake. So anyway, end of rant. So that is where I am with my mental health journey at this point. That's pretty much that. Obviously, I'm not going to be eating any more of that ice cream because of the bug. I don't do bugs, especially in food. You know, and just as a side note too, like, there's some power in recognizing like your limits, and there's power in trying to get those limits back and set those boundaries for yourself. There's power in that, and you know, if it's one step to making yourself feel better, just do it. Even if it's a baby step, like, baby steps add up. One of my mom's famous sayings is, how do you eat an elephant? And we always respond, one bite at a time. And it's truth. So just one bite at a time. But yeah. So we've already tried out our reserved spots a couple of times today already, and so far it's going really smoothly. It's just nice to be able to pull someone off to the side and forget about them for a little bit, just to try to get more customers served, to at least get their order. Up to this point, my poor dad's been going out trying to get orders via pad and paper, or pad of paper and pen, and he's just really slow. Not necessarily, yeah, he's just really slow. So we're gonna try and, oh, scared the crap out of me. Did you see me jump? Alright, with that all being said, I'm gonna leave you guys for now. I will see you guys in a bit. Say hi.
Hi.
Yes. So, update. Things are going actually pretty well for us. Not good. We have not had that crazy of a day, which has been a blessing. Granted, it's only about 5:15, 5:30, so we still have 2 hours, 3 hours to get through. So I'm hoping that the rest of the day will pretty much end up like it has been, without too much crazy stuff going on. So far we have like 1 car in the drive-through, which is great, and we also have someone coming and picking up pizzas for the local high school. Apparently there's a function for administrative staff and for employees up at the school. So We are putting in those pizzas now. They should be done in like 7.5 minutes, maybe 15 if we didn't turn on the second pizza oven, and we are just waiting. Oh, bad lighting. Bad angle. One day I'm gonna get this vlogging stuff down pat. Let's see if I go this way. Actually, not bad. So we are working on that. Honestly, it's been a blessing to not have that busy of a day, given the week, given the month, and we are counting our blessings tonight so far. We do have 4 on staff, and it's just nice knowing that we have backup tonight. So, counting our blessings and enjoying a somewhat relaxing day. I lied. I just got crazy. That is dinner. What's the other one? Wow. That's so beautiful. Thanks, Mom.
What a day.
Well, it could have been way worse, you know.
Well, yeah, it could have been.
But
thankfully it wasn't. I am tired.
Yeah, I think we're all a little pooped, but I'm gonna eat and we will get back to you.
Just so happened I had that zip today. It was nasty.
He's first in the alphabet with Brandon. 1 or 4? Front and bathrooms.
Oh.
So that means Miss Avery gets the middle and sweeps. No, if you've worked with Ariana any length of time, the girl can chatter, and if she's really tired, oh my gosh, she will not stop. So that in itself is a big accomplishment for her, because she went over 2 hours, I think, without saying a word. She was tempted, I mean, she was taunted, she was teased, and she said nothing.
Wow. Anyone.
She did a few sign language things, but other than that.
This one time, I didn't force her. I was mixing, and I had like chillers sitting on the counter that were ready to go out, and she keeps nudging me with the chillers, and she goes, I go, banana cream pie, and then she shoves it to me. And it was the last thing to go out on the window. So normally when you hand them the last thing, you go, here's the banana cream pie chiller, have a good night, anything else I can. No, she literally took it, shoved it out the window, and shoved it
It is 9:50 at night, and I think that pretty much concludes the vlog. Wasn't able to get a whole lot of the middle section because I was busy today, but other than that, that's pretty much the day in the life. Definitely stay tuned for more videos coming up, so stay tuned, and I will see you guys later. Remember to live faithfully, lead courageously, and to love unconditionally, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.